Hey YouTube, welcome back to a new video. Alright, so today I'm going to talk about something very interesting. It is the Assassin's Creed Shadows. So Ubisoft have developed a great game called an Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's basically a two protagonists characters who are wandering around the world trying to fight any evil or corrupted organizations. So in this game, what makes this game so special is that we're gonna be playing with two characters, the samurai and the assassin. So I'm pretty excited because this is the first time Ubisoft in the Assassin's Creed series. This is the first time basically you're gonna be having the opportunity to play with two characters, and you would be able to change characters spontaneously. So stay tuned because this video is actually going to talk more about the trailer and in depth about the history and the historical fiction of the series. The game was developed by the Ubisoft Québec Montréal team. They've actually been successful and they have made Assassin's Creed Odyssey in the past. So we might be looking for a level up numeric scale up in terms of the levels. That might be a question. However, I do support Odyssey. It's been a great game. The only downside is that the game wasn't that good in terms of graphics. However, I think they would be adopting more the graphic phenomena from the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So, right. So, without further ado, let's start with the trailer.
Who are you? Who do you serve?
Right, here we go, guys. All right, this is so awesome. Okay, so I got to the chance to do some research on the historical fiction and the time that we're gonna be playing this game. So, according to World History Encyclopedia, feudalism in the medieval Japan, 1185 to 1603, is the relationship between lords and vassals, where land ownership and its use were exchanged for military service and loyalty. Although present earlier to some degree, the feudal system in Japan was really established from the beginning of the Kamakura period in the late 1200th century. So I do believe that there's going to be a very there was going to be a lot of bloodshed in terms of the game. So the Japanese shogun and military dictators replaced the emperor and the imperial court as the country's main source of government. So there was a some sort of people like going against the throne kind of protests. The shogunates then distributed land to loyal followers, and these estates, called shogun, were then supervised by officials such as the Jeto and the Shugo. So Jeto and the Shugo, they're two people that have been adopting the lands that have been distributed by the overthrown of the emperor at that time. So I think the ancestors of the Jeto and the Shugo are the people that are owning the land at the moment. However, over time, the Jeto and Shugo operating far from the central government, gaining more and more powers, with many of them becoming large land owners. So I think the corruption or the kind of enemy here would be either the Jeto or the Shigo, where we try to know when they got the power and they got the money and they got the land, maybe they have corrupted it throughout the years.
All I have ever known in my life. Our land. Our customs. My family. Burns in the name of unification.
Right, perfect. Okay, so in the previous scene, actually, we got the chance to see Naoi. She is the shinobi assassin that we're gonna be playing through. She's one of the main characters. Okay, and here are some information about the Shogun. So the main instigator was Minamoto no Yoritomo, who had established himself as the military dictator or the shogun of Japan in 1192. Replacing the dominance of the Japanese emperor and imperial court, the new system saw Yoritomo distribute land which was often confiscated from defeated rivals to his loyal followers and allies in return for their military service and continued support. Yoritomo was particularly adept at enticing members of the rival Taira clan to the Minamoto cause by offering them land and positions if they agreed to be his vassals in the new order. Okay, so at these times, what I've noticed and what I've learned is there was a lot of bloodshed, a lot of people trying to overthrow lands as much as possible. They're trying to acquire land as much as possible. So everybody was everybody's enemy at that time. And anybody who would trespass any land, they would think that he's trying to take over and there's going to be a lot of bloodshed. So at these times, there was a lot of people that hasn't been feeling any kind of safety in terms of the overpowered have been thrown, the emperor has been demolished, and the dominance of the emperor is now to ruin. And by now, the military dictator is the person who actually dominated the Japanese empire to the rebel. So basically, the new order is basically based on people who would support the shogun. As long as they are the vassals of the shogun, they will get security and safety. So at these times, I think every farmland that we're going to be traveling through, we should be seeing people trying to overcome and trying to take other people's lands.
You are still a frog in a well, who knows nothing of the sea. The ocean's filled with new ships, but they all come from the same river. Greed.
Okay, so right off the bat, the previous scene just showed us that there's gonna be rivers and there's gonna be boats. I'm hoping that there's not gonna be a lot of traveling with the boats like Odyssey did. Hopefully not. Okay, so the Jeto. So some of the loyal followers of the Shogun received many estates. So basically the Jeto, as we said before, they were the people who were actually being granted a lot of land when the emperor was overthrown by bunch of people who actually protested and due to the maybe there hasn't been justice been thrown upon these people, honestly. So the Heian period and appointed by the shogunate government, they become a useful tool for managing land taxes and produce far from the capital. So these people were actually the people who were actually collecting taxes and making sure that the infrastructure of Japan and justice and the laws are being implemented. The steward was entitled to fees about 10% of the land's produce and tenure, but was often bound by local customs and also held accountable to such national law codes as in the 1232. In addition, aggrieved of landowners and vessels could, from the 1184, turn to Monshujo, the Board of Inquiry, which looked after all legal matters, including lawsuits, appeals, and disputes on overland rights and loans. So basically, the Jetos people were actually the people who established the basic amenities, and they were actually people who were collecting the taxes.
Power. Vengeance.
And you?
Okay, I'm so excited just by the previous scene. We just witnessed parrying and witnessed attack and heavy attack and execution attacks as well. So this figure is actually really important. This guy, this character, Oda Nobunaga. According to World History Encyclopedia, Oda Nobunaga, who defeated his rival warlords in the central part of the archipelago in the 1560s, did Japan begin to look like a unified country again? So basically, I think this is the era where the game's going to take place. This is the era when the game is actually going to be live. We're going to be in the era of Oda Nobunaga.
Will you continue down that river? Or choose another path beyond what we see?
And we must look for it together. We must learn to trust, rebuild.
And follow the blade.
Awesome, perfect. Yes, I'm so excited for this game, and I will be posting on the gameplay itself. I'm going to be doing some reviews on how the graphics and the gameplay is being established. So I'm going to be doing a video for Yasuke and a video for Naoe as well, the Assassin Shinobi, just to make sure that we've tackled most of it. Alright folks, and that is the end of the trailer in-depth review. I hope you guys did enjoy and did learn some of the historical fiction that we're going to be moving forward with here. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you did like this video. And as always guys, take care. We'll see you next time.
I said, who do you serve? We are the shadows.
That served the light.